Lesson 41, Illusions of Pastoral Peace. In this text, we'll talk about city life and country life. First, listen to the text with this question on mind. What particular anxiety spoils the country dweller's visit to the theater? 住在乡下的人来城里看剧的时候，会为什么事情焦虑？
The quiet life of the country has never appealed to me. City-born and city-bred, I have always regarded the country as something you look at through a train window, or something you occasionally visit during the weekend. Most of my friends live in the city, yet they always go into raptures at the mere mention of the country. Though they extol the virtues of the peaceful life, only one of them has ever gone to live in the country, and he was back in town within 6 months. Even he still lives under the illusion that country life is somehow superior to town life. He is forever talking about the friendly people, the clean atmosphere, the closeness to nature, and the gentle pace of living. Nothing can be compared, he maintains, with the first cockcrow, the twittering of birds at dawn, the sight of the rising sun glinting on the trees and pastures. This idyllic pastoral scene is only part of the picture. My friend fails to mention the long and friendless winter evenings in front of the TV, virtually the only form of entertainment. He says nothing about the poor selection of goods in the shops, or about those unfortunate people who have to travel from the country to the city every day to get to work. Why people are prepared to tolerate a 4-hour journey each day for the dubious privilege of living in the country is beyond me. They could be saved so much misery and expense if they choose to live in the city, where they rightly belong. If you can do without the few pastoral pleasures of the country, you will find the city can provide you with the best that life can offer. You never have to travel miles to see your friends. They invariably live nearby and are always available for an informal chat or an evening's entertainment. Some of my acquaintances in the country come up to town once or twice a year to visit the theatre as a special treat. For them, this is a major operation, which involves considerable planning. As the play draws to its close, they wonder whether they will ever catch that last train home. The city dweller never experiences anxieties of this sort. The latest exhibitions, films, or plays are only a short bus ride away. Shopping, too, is always a pleasure. There is so much variety that you never have to make do with second best. Country people run wild when they go shopping in the city and stagger home loaded with as many of the exotic items as they can carry. Nor is the city without its moments of beauty. There is something comforting about the warm glow shed by advertisements on cold, wet winter nights. Few things could be more impressive than the peace that descends on deserted city streets at weekends, when the thousands that travel to work every day are tucked away in their homes in the country. It has always been a mystery to me why city dwellers, who appreciate all these things, obstinately pretend that they would prefer to live in the country.
So what particular anxiety spoils the country dweller's visit to the theatre? Right, it is the worry about whether they will be able to catch the last train home. This text compares country life with city life, so it's an essay of comparison and contrast. The author's view is quite clear. He prefers the city life. And what is more, he is against those city dwellers who always claim to love the country life. So he presents his friend's view first, and then adds the negative sides of country life to it. And then he describes the advantages of city life. And he emphasizes that these advantages are not available for the country dwellers. Right. Now let's look at some language points in the text. City-born and city-bred. Here it means that I was born in the city and I was brought up in the city. If an animal or a plant breathes, it produces offspring. If a human being is bred, he or she is brought up. Look at this example. He had been bred to be a gentleman. 他从小被教养成为一个绅士。那么我们学过它的同义词 bring up. The sad truth is that most of us have been brought up to eat certain foods. I have always regarded the country as something you look at through the train window or something you occasionally visit during the weekend. 作者呢做了2个比较，意思是形容乡村离自己生活之远，顶多呢是偶尔供来消遣的。Yet they always go into raptures. To go into means to enter a certain kind of state or to achieve a kind of effect. For example, go into a temper, 发脾气. Go into effect, 开始生效. Go into raptures. Rapture means extreme happiness or extreme excitement. For example, she went into raptures at the news of her success. 听说自己成功之后，她狂喜。At the mere mention of the country, it means so long as the country is mentioned, they always go into raptures. Look at this example. She blushed at the mere mention of his name. 她的名字一提起来，她就脸红了。They extol the virtues of the peaceful life. Extol means praise highly, and it is more formal than praise. For example, we can also say extol the merits of to mean the same as to extol the virtues of. 高度赞扬什么的好处。Look at this example. His book extols the benefits of vegetarianism. 他的书呢，宣扬了素食主义的好处。The virtues of the peaceful life. Here, virtues means advantages. Virtue 还有另外一层词义，是指人的美德。它的反义词是 vice, 缺陷。For example, courage is a virtue. 勇气是一种美德。But in this example, the virtue of a small car is that you can park it easily. Here, virtue means advantage. He was back in town within 6 months. In town means he was back to where he lived. 回到他住的地方。Similarly, you can also say out of town to mean leave the place you live. For example, I'll be out of town for about a week. 我会出门1个星期。He still lives under the illusion that. Under the illusion that means he still wrongly or falsely believes that. For example, the boss is still under the illusion that the project will be completed on time. 老板还错误地以为这个项目会按时完成。Country life is somehow superior to town life. Superior to means better than. 它的反义词是 inferior to. Look at these examples to see what superior means. He simply believes that men are intellectually superior to women. 他相信男人在智力上优于女人。He was a superior candidate for this task. Here, superior means excellent. 他是完成这项任务的出色人选。He always has such a superior attitude. Superior attitude 是一种高高在上的态度。Nothing can be compared with the first cockcrow, he maintains. He maintains means he insists, especially when other people disagree with him. Look at this example. He maintains that he has never made such a remark. 他坚持说从来没说过这么一句话。Nothing can be compared with something means nothing is better than something. For example, nothing can be compared with a cold drink on a summer night. 这句话也可以说成 There is nothing to compare with a cold drink on a summer night. The rising sun glinting on the trees and pastures. Glint means to shine. For example, her diamond ring glinted on her finger. 她的钻戒在手指上闪光。Virtually the only form of entertainment. Virtually means almost. Look at more examples. The twins are virtually identical. 双胞胎呢，几乎一模一样。It was virtually impossible to find a Chinese restaurant in this area, but now it's much easier. 从前在这儿要找一个中餐馆，几乎是不可能的，但是现在就容易多了。He says nothing about the poor selection of goods in the shops, etc. Notice the tone of the author. 作者几处说到 He says nothing about. He is forever talking about. My friend fails to mention. To show how subjective his friend is, and also to show the irony. The poor selection of goods means the few kinds of goods, 指品种不多。Look at this example. A fine selection of perfumes. 香水的品种非常丰富。Or a good selection of detective stories. A good selection also means a fine selection, many kinds. Is beyond me is something that I cannot understand. Look at these examples. Computer science is completely beyond me. It's beyond me how she could bear to live with such a snob. 这两句话中 beyond me is slightly different in meaning. In the first, is completely beyond me means it's too difficult for me. In the latter example, it means I cannot possibly understand how she could bear to live with such a person. The dubious privilege. Dubious means uncertain. It's less strong than doubtful. 口气上要比 doubtful 要弱一些。For example, I'm dubious about his promises to change his ways. 他说要改变自己的习惯，对这点我表示怀疑。They could be saved so much misery and expense. Be saved. Here in this sentence it means they could avoid so much misery and expense. I'll give you more examples. Her students' help saved her a lot of trouble. 如果用 she 做主语，就变成She was saved much trouble by her students' help. Where they rightly belong. Rightly means where they should belong. Look at this example. He was rightly punished for what he had done. So it means he was punished and he was punished as he should. If you can do without the few pastoral pleasures. Do without means to manage without, or rather not have. 凑合。Look at this example. He cannot do without a computer. 没有计算机，他就过不下去。You'll have to do without your breakfast if you don't want to be late. 你要是不想迟到的话，就别吃早饭了。So here in these two examples, do without means manage without. Look at this one. Stop it, I can do without your nagging. Here, do without actually means I'd rather not have your nagging. 别再跟我唠叨了。This is a major operation which involves considerable planning. This is a major operation. Operation 我们在前面的课文中学习过。The salvage operation. So it means a set of actions. 但是在这里其实是一种夸张。Which involves considerable planning. Involve here means which includes, which needs a lot of planning. Look at this example. The new system involves little new technology. 这个新的系统并不需要什么新的技术。You never have to make do with second best. Make do with or make do without means manage with or without. For example, new clothes are expensive, so you have to make do with what you've got. 拿现有的东西凑合吧。Second best means not the best and not the most desirable. For example, she's always striving for excellence and refuses to settle for second best. 她总是在朝最出色的目标努力，有一点差距都不接受。Country people run wild. Run wild means to go uncontrolled. Look at this example. As soon as their mother left, the children ran wild. 孩子们就开始撒欢儿。Run 后边还可以加上其他的形容词。It means become a certain kind of. For example, money is beginning to run short. 钱不够了。Supplies are running low. 供应不足。There's a popular English song named Till the River Runs Dry. 等到河流干枯。Stagger home. Stagger means unable to walk steadily. 它的同义词是 stumble. Stagger usually means walk unsteadily because of drunkenness or burden. 课文中的句子是说负担太重，走得摇摇晃晃。Look at this example. As we went into the bar, a drunken man staggered out of the door. Here it refers to walking unsteadily because of drunkenness. The exotic items. Exotic is an approving word. 它是一个褒义词，本意是 foreign， 具有异国情调的。But here it means the unfamiliar, the exciting. There is something comforting. Comforting means 令人觉得安慰的 consoling. For example, it's comforting to know that there's someone to turn to when one needs help. The warm glow. Glow 这里指的是广告灯箱发出的光。Glow when describing fire means burn without flames. For example, the glow from the dying fire lit her face. 渐渐熄灭的火光映着她的脸。The peace that descends on deserted city. Descent on is a literary expression. 这是一个比较书面化的说法，意思就是笼罩着或者降临。Look at two more examples. Silence descended on the room. 寂静笼罩着房间。A feeling of despair descended on us as we realized that we had no choice. So you can also use some kind of feeling descends on somebody. It has always been a mystery to me. 这是一个口语化的说法，意思就是 I can never understand. Look at this example. It's a mystery to me how she manages to cook a meal so quickly. 真是不明白她怎么会做饭做得这么快。Obstinately pretend. Obstinately, 固执的、顽固的。Stubbornly 是它的近义词。 这篇课文分为2段，分别讲到了对城市和乡村生活的态度。作者非常注意使2段的对比鲜明，除了内容上的对照之外呢，在句式上也使用了相似的结构。第1段时，他用了这句话 ：Nothing can be compared with the first cockcrow, the twittering of birds, the sight of the rising sun, etc. And then in the second paragraph, you read this sentence.Few things could be more impressive than the peace that descends on deserted city streets, etc. 这个句式呢，与上边一句相似，这样就从句式上，他也反驳了前面他的朋友表示的乡村的生活优势。课文第1段出现了这句话 ：Why people are prepared to tolerate a 4-hour journey is beyond me。第2段中又使用了不同的说法。It has always been a mystery to me why city dwellers would prefer to live in the country. 这样就用相同的句式反复地表达他对一些城市人对乡村的执着爱好的不解，其实是在强调这些人的态度不可理喻。This text makes a comparison between rural life and urban life, which should be quite familiar to us.尤其是近几年，有很多大城市的人呢，开始在乡下买房买地。This is actually about returning to nature, or returning to innocence. 我们现在呢，也开始有越来越多的人住在城郊，每天上下班。这些人在英文中被称为 commuters. Besides, from the Western tradition, the countryside always represents the ideal.The beauty, whereas the city is a symbol of evil, ugliness, and crime, especially at the beginning of industrialization. 城市，尤其是在工业革命的初期，始终被看为是恶的象征。Other than that, England is famous for its beautiful countryside, and the country is proud for it. 所以课文中讲到，有这么多的人执着的要装作热爱乡村的生活或者景色，可能跟这个也有些关系。Okay, so much on this topic. Bye for now.